Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Wonder Woman #1. So if you guys have not had a chance to check out my other comic book reviews on the channel, I would highly recommend you guys go and check out my other comic book reviews, because we have been doing a lot of comic book reviews on Marvel Comics, DC Comics. We've been reviewing Rippaverse comics here. We've reviewed freaking indie books here that you probably have never heard of. Actually, we really do take time and effort to actually give you guys good comic book reviews, because I do truly feel like a lot of people are under the sentiment that everything in the comic book world is bad, and that's just not true. Like, that is actually objectively not true. First of all, because you yourself cannot read everything, and I would highly just give this to you guys as advice. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where's my wife?
You have a wife?
Oh shit! Fuck. All right, okay. I'll be serious now. I had to, man, the entertainment, I had him going for the first half. Not gonna lie. Okay. We're being serious now. All right, let's get it going. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Wonder Woman #1. So if you guys have not had a chance to check out our previous comic book reviews on a lot of the DC comic books that we have reviewed recently, we have reviewed Green Lantern Back in Action Volume 1. We have reviewed the DC Absolute Power hardcover. We reviewed the DC All-In #1 one-shot special. We've reviewed the first 3 comic book issues of Absolute Batman, and now we are officially onto another character that is actually not Batman, and that's actually going to be Absolute Wonder Woman. So for those of you guys who don't know, long story short, basically DC Comics actually finally did it. They did their own Marvel Comics style Ultimate Universe, right? They've tried to do it for many years, actually. Remember the All-Star lineup, Earth One lineup, Future State, all that stuff? You know, in typical DC Comics fashion, at any moment, that shit starts failing. Upend everything, burn it to the ground. Remember the part of the Dark Knight? It's not about sending a message. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. Every time DC Comics would try to do something, they'd burn it to the ground if the sales weren't going to be there. But then along came the time of Dawn of DC. It was their latest initiative back in 2023, and it didn't really go as well as they thought. They experimented a lot with that run, so I can't really fault them for that. I just didn't agree with the fact that they took away the Justice League, one of the most biggest superhero groups in all of comics, to just prop up the Teen Titans. Don't mind. I love me some Titans. I really do. But they're not the Justice League. And we got to this point where DC Comics weren't even selling in like the top 10. There were some months where that shit wasn't even in the top 10 for any of their books. Then you started hearing rumors in the industry that they were finally going to actually do their Ultimate Universe. They've been trying to do this for a long time. Many initiatives started that they just canceled. And as you guys know, we've talked about it in other reviews as well. Basically, the writers to headline this are Scott Snyder, Jason Aaron, and Kelly Thompson. Scott Snyder, obviously known for Court of Owls and the other stuff he's done. Jason Aaron, famous for quite a bit of stuff. Good Lord. I mean, what doesn't that man write at this point, honestly? And Kelly Thompson,
he's also writing Turtles, too.
Yeah, he writes Turtles. He wrote for Thor. He is writing for Superman right now. They just put this guy on everything at this point. And then Kelly Thompson. And you know what's crazy? I know she's going to watch this video because women are just such self-absorbed pieces of shit. They just always got to hear about who's talking about them. She blocked me on Twitter just because, you know how Scott Snyder, what's like on Twitter, it's like, hey, this is DC All In. here's the writers. He tagged them all. Jason Aaron down on Twitter. He's on Blue Sky because, Blue Sky's a cesspool for fucking losers. Scott Snyder was there. And I looked up the Kelly Thompson Twitter at. She blocked me. Fuck you. Keep in mind, you got pink hair. It's like, I didn't really need your opinion anyway. Keep in mind, I wouldn't talk to you anyway. I heard you're fucking fat as fuck. So I would not talk to you. But doesn't matter. You got to separate the artist from the art. And she did do a very, very good job on writing this book. You see, Kelly, just because you got pink hair doesn't mean I was going to shit on you. Like, goddamn, you just look up a random person, you're blocked. The fuck? I never once in my life interacted with this woman on Twitter. When you guys see me interact on Twitter, I truly do want to always kind of like promote comics in a way. Like, here, this is what I bought this week. This is what I enjoyed. This is what I didn't enjoy. I should probably do that more and more often, but I'm trying. We got to start somewhere. But with this Absolute line, this is a way to basically tell stories that aren't basically confined by like 70, 80, 60 plus years of a character's history. And I personally feel like if you are just new to comics, I would just recommend you, if you aren't a DC characters, just get the Absolute line currently right now. You could also just kind of wait until the trade paperback comes out. Those are coming out in like August, September time. But then again, I love trade paperbacks. I do. And I feel like that's the better way to collect books, honestly. But you do get very, very behind if you only collect trades. It's the only real downside to them. But overall, man, this was very, very good. I don't know if I liked this first issue more or Absolute Batman. Because Absolute Batman #1 was pretty good. But this one was very good in of itself, too. This one's, it flowed really good. I felt like the narratives and the story were just very apparent. The storytelling was good. It didn't feel like one storyline overlapped another. The backstory was laid out, but when you actually got to the backstory, because sometimes I've noticed with a lot of comic books recently, dude, where like they'll do a backstory in issue 1s, and then sometimes they'll just be so damn boring. Or you'll read like some indie comic books where literally they'll just be so damn boring. It's like, oh god, we did not need to hear about that. I don't give a fuck, honestly. But when it got to like the actual backstory about how she was living in this hell world, it was great. It's actually amazing. It's actually
and it felt real Greek mythology too, inspired. It felt like it was inspired by Greek mythology, and it was really a good job. Like you said, bouncing between the action and the backstory, and I really liked how they kept Wonder Woman's kind personality, like the way she was with the animals and the monsters, and the way she is with people. Wonder Woman is always kind of like this really empathetic warrior, and they kept that while she's riding a skeleton horse and throwing around a gut sword, cutting down demons. It's pretty badass, and they made her more magical too. That was cool. I like how they're playing more into it and how they reset it, but it still feels like Wonder Woman. This is Wonder Woman. This is just Wonder Woman in a drastically different situation.
Yeah, we also had it in the book where she essentially is going to become the character that you kind of know her to be in just a small way. Because like people don't know this about the Absolute line, but I've said it in the other Absolute Batman #1 review that we did for that comic book, where this is supposed to be them without what you remember most about them. So Batman, it was crazy because in that book, Bruce is just because he's not a billionaire. For some reason, DC just doesn't like he has a lot of money. For some reason, a lot of you weirdos out there have a problem with just people that have a lot of money, but whatever. Nevertheless, Batman is not a billionaire. She doesn't have her Amazon heritage, and Superman's without Krypton. It's basically the main stuff you know about them. But then I would imagine happens in Absolute Superman too. They all just end up becoming the characters you know them to be. So it kind of just reinforces the point of like, you could put these characters in any setting. They're going to end up being who you always know them to be, which is very good because that's who you want them to be, So another thing that I really liked in the book was that it felt like it was a very villain of the week kind of book. Well, like it's like a villain of the week starting in a TV show episode, so a new TV show starts, you get the villain of the week, and then it feels like you really progress somewhere as the book ended. Like you felt like, okay, this is something I'm really going to be picking up, So I felt like throughout the book, they balanced out all the narratives so well. It's like, damn, because keep in mind, guys, for me personally, I like the Flash more. I love me some Diana. I do like her, but my favorite DC characters are like Batman, Superman, Nightwing, Green Lantern, Flash, the Justice League itself, the Teen Titans. You know, Wonder Woman, for me, I think just works better in a team setting. I feel like that's where she really shines. Hell, guys, I like Shazam more, honestly, if I'm being honest with you. Shazam's way more cooler than me. But I feel like this book was pretty good if you just kind of wanted to get into Wonder Woman and kind of see her tenacity and where she kind of can constantly fight monsters without ever getting like down on herself. But what about you, man?
No, I feel the same way. I was never really interested in much of her, like her own books. There was times but I've always liked her in like the Trinity book storylines and those kind of lines where she's teamed up in the Justice League. But this one is really, really interesting. I like how I'm interested in knowing more about this character and how she progresses in there. They're up to issue 4 right now, and I believe the first arc is like 6 issues, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're right. What I also enjoyed with this, I don't know if they do that with I don't know how modern people want to go with comic books. They've, even just with this book, they've laid out, like with Absolute Batman, that you have how many parts of this arc? I think this is one of 5. Batman's is also 5, so I imagine Superman's is 5. I think that's a nice, good amount of issues for the first arc. Feels like a TV show. Feels like, okay, I'm getting enough out of this to kind of progress with the character, to kind of see like, okay, what's going to happen after that. Now, keep in mind, guys, I know a lot about her in more like the surface way. Not actually read a lot of Wonder Woman material in my life, but I do know about her. It's like the Greek mythology plays into a lot. Hades, Circe. Keep in mind, I should have paid attention to this called Greek mythology. You know, wouldn't Thor play into Greek mythology? But you can't really use that character because, it's Marvel. But
yeah, well, Thor's more Nordic. So that's like Odin and those guys. And then she's got Greek, so it's Zeus.
So it's like Neptune, Zeus, Ares, Circe, Neptune,
Poseidon. All those types.
Okay. All right. So let's start going through the book. So what I really enjoyed the book did was that it already set up where the city is. So you have Gateway City to start it off with right there. That's where you get the big battle at the very end. Then after that, you got the typical reporters going, oh my God, Willy Lilligers. There's some giant there's some giant fucking pterodactyl demons killing everyone. They're just pulling out of the giant pyramid, actually. And then after that, you see Wonder Woman pop out. Awesome panel dynamic there, where she comes out on her skeleton dragon or skeleton griffin.
It's Pegasus.
Good Lord, that looks like skeletons and bones. But yes, she's on a Pegasus, comes out and just starts slaying some of them. Okay, small critique there. I wish we could have got a little bit more sword play. That's what I would have said as a critique there. But otherwise, good. Got a lot of sword play there. You do eventually see her reveal herself after that. And then it just goes into this 2-page spread, Absolute Wonder Woman, The Last Amazon, part 1 of 5. So the Last Amazon part is very important because later on in the story, something's going to end up happening to the point where that Amazon word itself is going to be very, very important to how her character just kind of has that light bulb moment of like who she really is. So it then goes basically into the past. As we said before, it has 3 different narratives going: present, past, and future. You get to the person where that was her mother in this universe. Not yet, but that's going to be her mother. I do forget this character's name. I just call her Mother, as she said. So you get to the part of the Wild Isle of Hell. Did I pronounce that right? Wild Isle of Hell? Okay. Yeah. So after that, a Greek goddess appears in front of Wonder Woman's mom, well, soon-to-be mom, and just gives her a baby. Yeah, that's it. A god literally just grabbed Wonder Woman in a different, universe or whatever, and just dumped her somewhere as a baby. What the hell?
Well,
because
Zeus wipes out the Amazons.
Because like the Amazons betrayed him or something like that, he said, right? Yeah.
So it's Apollo, who's the sun god of the Greek mythology, and then sends the baby, Diana, who's a demigod, to this woman, forgot her name, who's already in hell. So like, it's like, and then he bans Amazon words, so no one is able to say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, Apollo appears in front of the soon-to-be mother right there, drops a baby off of her, and basically wipes her mind of the word Amazon, where she cannot utter the word Amazon because the Amazons and the other god had a falling out essentially, and they dumped her here to punish them, actually. So what was really, really cool, it was just seeing how like she grew up where basically her mother right here, when she just got her as a baby, just really didn't know what to do with her. And that makes perfect sense. That's most moms don't know what to fucking do. It's a whole new human right there that they cry and they eat and they shit and they cry a lot and they cry a lot. As you guys know with babies. I thought this was honestly a nice little wholesome moment there. So she puts the baby Diana on this little rock, and then this demon snake goes up in front of her because the mother's like testing her, kind of like how a mom would do that thing of like dumping the baby in a freaking pool and seeing if they can like swim. That's how I kind of felt like that moment was, where she put her there and she was like, you know what? Let's see if she'll sink or swim. And she grabbed the snake, the demon snake, and then just threw it.
Yeah, she's essentially like, I can't raise a kid. I don't know what I'm doing, and this is hell. So I'm just gonna let nature take its course. And then she jacks the snake and yeets it off to the side.
Then after that, she plays with this lizard where it blows fire in her face. Like, oh my God. And she even says, hey, that thing could have just blown all the hair off your head. So it goes to show you that Wonder Woman, even as a baby, still has this affinity for just like creatures in general, just animals, where, man, if I see a demon snake like that, I'm shooting that thing, like mauling that thing down to the ground. Just pointing it out there. I'm not, that's crazy right there. So then, hey, I know I don't like ads a lot. Complex, my biggest pet peeve is ads, but how can you not appreciate that kind of art there by Dan Mora for the Justice League promo right there for Justice League Unlimited? But outside of that, then you get these 2-page spreads throughout the book of basically a moment where her mom was raising her from like the ages of like, I'll just use our age, for example. It's a lot more easy to follow. It's like when she was basically 0 to like, this part is like when she's like 4, basically kind of inner monologuing about things that she kind of hopes she ends up becoming. Then after that, it gets to a point where she starts to become like from the age of like 8 to 11, where she kind of starts to understand more things about herself, where she basically questions a lot of more things, where she's becoming a lot more alert. Because that's how kids grow up. They kind of start out very, very just random. They don't know what the fuck's going on. And then they kind of start becoming, oh, I'm aware of this. What is this? How is this going to go? So then after that, we get to a point where she's basically a full-grown adult. All of that was drawn very good. Like, it went from basically nice 2-page spreads from baby to basically adolescent to basically adult. And then it goes back to the present day. And this villain, from what oh, good Lord, it starts with an A. But this demonic, pterodactyl-looking villain right there is the villain of the week right there, where she tells the army like, hey, you probably should get the army here because this thing is actually pretty powerful.
Going back to those pages you were showing, what's really great too is the artist uses the same background in every panel.
I did know that. Yeah.
As they get older, you start noticing like it becoming more and more of a home. There's more candles added, decorations. They start hanging vegetable plants. Bookcase gets bigger, covers. And by the time she gets fully grown, it has a wood floor and it has chairs and it's much more of a home. And it's kind of just showing like both of their characters' growing to love a child. It's a really well done sequence of double-page spreads all the way through. It's one of the highlights of the book artistically, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then the villain that they're facing this time around, at least these pterodactyl ones, are called Harbingers, and she prepares to fight them. You can tell this thing is definitely pretty strong if it's knocking her back. Why does the Pegasus look like it's just a dead horse with no skin? It's also from hell, so I guess it just goes to show you that she doesn't care what the thing looks like. Yeah, like she doesn't care what the animals look like as long as she can find some soul in them. I guess it's pretty cliche, but
yeah, like even in the montage where all the we were talking about earlier, you can see her playing with the demons, and like, there's one point they're all like sleeping in the bed with her, like like with those little kid scenes, like stuffed animals, but it's all the demons and
she's
snakes
playing
and
with
shit.
a Cerberus. Guys, those are dangerous in hell.
She's like, she's all like, hey, you better be good, Cerberus. And as she's like, essentially beating it with a shoe. And it's like she loves and she has compassion for every living thing. It's something that comes through Like, it really feels like Wonder Woman. Like, she's a very compassionate warrior type character, and this really does come through in these pages, and really well done. And then she has to start fighting this big ass dude.
Yeah, she fights Harbinger. So apparently, I guess the villain is called Harbinger, but it can spout out these other demonic little minions, and they're battling from that point on. And then we get to a point where villain obviously overpowers her, and she's also having another flashback to her childhood. That's what I really enjoyed, is just a nice balance of past, present, future to tie into everything about getting the character right where you need the character to be right at the end of the book. So at the end of the book, basically on this part, she's full-grown adult at this point now. Her life's been completed. She survived being in hell. Essentially, there's a word she's been kind of thinking of for so long, but she could never say it. And her mom was like, you know what it is, just say it. And she says the word Amazon. That was a banned word that Apollo had erased earlier on in the book. And then she mutters that to herself right there when she's on the ground after she got blasted by Harbinger. She utters Amazon, and you can tell she got this buff that heroes get sometimes where they get that, wait a minute, that word, Martha, what did you say that name? But no, not that one. But it's like she got her resolve back right there. Look at that right there. Oh my God, that is so damn well drawn right there.
Oh yeah. This whole sequence of her where the mother's like getting her to say it because her mother can't even still can't say the word, but the Diane's like acknowledging, yes, I am an Amazon, to the point where they're both crying and she's yelling it, and then those eyes it's just perfect. Then you get the great full page at the very last page, which is just looks awesome.
Oh, and also the other motto of the book was basically, if you love your child, eventually, I think she said, like, if you love your child, how you prove that is by setting them free and letting them go on their own.
Yeah. It was something about like raising them. You grow to love them and you learn what love is, but then to prove your love, you have to let them go. And that's she even talks about magic. Good. Everyone needs magic.
Talking about just, man, so many different things where just all culminates to the end, and it does culminate to the end where she pulls out her lasso of truth at the end of the book, and she basically just says her name is Diana of Themyscira. You guys know the whole bit. Diana of Themyscira, last of the Amazons, daughter of the Circle, princess of Hell, witch of the Wild Isle, and you will not have this world while I still draw breath. Just awesome final monologue right there from Wonder Woman right there. The very end of the book where she finally just uttered the word Amazon to herself, and she realized, this is who I am. I'm just meant for battle. And that's how first issue ends. The only other criticism, fucking DC, Jesus Christ. Why? I've never seen this. Why is there an absolute Wonder Woman #1 ad in the absolute Wonder Woman book? I shit you not, literally right here. There's an absolute Wonder Woman #1 ad in the book it's in. That's just stupid. Don't ever do that, DC. That's just stupid. What the fuck? Just end the book. You don't need to. Oh God, it's just so stupid. How are they gonna advertise you the #1 issue in the book you're reading? I've never. Only DC can do that. But outside of that, you also have this nice little. I think John Cassidy. Apparently this guy's gone. He died, and they were giving a lot of testimonies and statements about how good he was to a lot of people, about how much they liked working with the guy in the comic industry. But that was just so odd to see a fucking ad for the book you're reading. Thank you.
You think DC. It would have been like absolute Superman or Batman?
Yeah. You know? Hey, go and check out these ones if you like this one. It's like, oh shit, fucking hell, DC. But no, guys, I'll be completely honest here with you. I know we've read a lot of floppies here so far this year. We've read which ones have we read? We've read Ultimate Universe #1. We read the DC All In #1. We've read the three issues of Absolute Batman so far, and this one. This is probably going to go in my top 10 books I've read this year. I'm not kidding. It's very, very good. Very well done. The art, storytelling, the narrative, pacing, the action, the complete dynamics about how the panels were drawn. The 2-page spreads. Easily. I'm not even just shitting. Top 10 book of the year that I've read in 2025. Easily one of the best. man, if all books were like this, we'd be selling millions here. But that's not the case.
Well, I hopefully it's a good trend in the right direction. I'm excited for the Absolute Flash, which should be coming out soon. They're also going to be doing an Absolute Martian Manhunter, I believe.
No one's interested in that.
Oh.
you see the art in that? That looks like trash. The art on that looks bad. Absolute Flash, you had me at that one. Absolute Martian Manhunter, you have me in the first half, not going to lie.
And when I like it because essentially in this Darkseid created reality, they have lost all of their support systems, and they've essentially been stripped of all of the things that they had. Like Clark is stripped of his hometown upbringing. He doesn't have the paper. He doesn't have any of this fancy stuff. He has a much better memory of Krypton because he was older when it happened. Batman doesn't have Alfred or his money or any of that stuff, but even though they still cross paths, him and Alfred still do. And then Wonder Woman, they took away essentially the Amazons and threw her into hell. And they all are rising out of it and essentially giving a big finger to Darkseid. It's really well done. Scott Snyder, just amazing Batman writer. That dude loves him some Batman. He writes some great shit. Court of Owls, Year One. I mean, he is the All in the Family return. All of that stuff that Scott Snyder does is amazing. And Kelly Thompson does a great job on this. Hayden Sharon does the pencils, and they're done really well. It almost has that old Greek mythology look to the design of the characters. It does action real well. The page layouts are done real well. The backgrounds are highly detailed. It's all around really good book. It's A game stuff right here.
For my final thoughts and opinions about Absolute Wonder Woman #1, this was so good. This is just, I would probably, because you read Absolute Batman #1, right?
Oh yeah, I've got all. I'm all caught up.
Oh, you're okay. You're done with the last arc. Which issue 1 was better, this one or that one? The issue ones. Absolute Batman, you think is better?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is, but that's not saying this is bad by no means. I give that first Batman one was like, because Snyder, like he slowly gives you pieces and unveils the story as you go along. With this one, Wonder Woman, it does a really good job of setting up the origin in that first issue, so you know exactly what's going on. But I just thought that it was so Batman, that first. I really like his reimagining of Batman in that one. I'm a huge. To me, that's the best one so far. I'm going to check out the Flash one and the Green Lantern, not the Green Lantern, but the Martian Manhunter. The artwork on the Martian Manhunter doesn't really get me in there, but I'm still going to do it because I like all of these. I want to see how all of these people are going to meet up, because Scott Snyder said he has a bunch of issues planned, that these arcs are only the first arcs. They have they're going to keep going on this. So eventually we're going to get an Absolute Justice League. So that's going to be interesting.
That's the thing, is an Absolute Justice League. It's crazy because at some point these guys are going to team up. It's just what happens.
Yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to get Absolute Darkseid, or we're going to get a major world-ending villain. Like, I'm ecstatic to find out what this Absolute Joker is going to be like. I don't, with Superman, it's still kind of building, but with Batman, it's going to be very interesting to see who the big bad is, and are they even, what's the Absolute Justice League going to look like with all these characters? It's going to be interesting. Especially without Wayne, Batman bankrolling everything. So now, because they all look broke as
shit. Remember Apocalypse War when Kara broke that supercomputer and Superman's like, hey, I could pay you back on a reporter's salary. It was so subtle yet such a burn, calling him poor. It was DC can have humor. It's got to be subtle, to the point, slice of life humor. That's what gets you, But God, man, I have been super hyped for the absolute university kickoff. I told you guys when I did the video about when the news dropped, I was going to read and review all of it because it's beginning anyway. Might as well get in when it first starts than getting in and you got to buy like 50 fucking trades to catch up. But no, this is easily one of the best comic books I've read in 2025. Will easily be in my top 10 unless another floppy beats this. There'll be maybe a floppy here or two there, but damn, this was really good. Kelly Thompson, you fucking bitch. You blocked me, but it's all good. Whatever, man. You wrote a good book.
You write a damn good tale.
Maybe I finally got to start giving women credit here. But yeah, so thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel. If you have not already, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces.